Yo, 5 9 gamers, what's going on? It is your boy ZVG here, and today I am joined by two high-skilled PvP players, Virgil and Swift. Say what's up, you guys.
Yo, what is going on, you guys?
And today we're going to be coming at you guys with the Game Press tier list before the anniversary, because we all know that MUI Goku is going to shift the meta a lot. They wanted to get this out to you guys before the end to show you the best units pre-anniversary. I'm pretty sure we're all top 100 players. We know what we're talking about. We played this game so long, so it's gonna be very interesting to see. So let's just jump into it. It's going down first. Some changes being made here. You can read it yourself if you want to. It's quite a lot. But just going down the list here, in God tier, we only have KAIOKEN GOKU in God tier. Gogeta's not up here anymore, and it's not due to him individually at all. Like, he's still easily a top two unit in the game individually. However, teams also play a factor in the meta, and his teams are just not at the level of God Key, Future, Powerful Opponent, LOV, Angels. Like, it's just not on that level, and I feel like he doesn't deserve to be in God Key, honestly. I feel like there are more annoying units to run into right now. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Because like you said, individually, I think he deserves a spot up there, but you know, maybe if Movies makes a comeback, or we start seeing more Saiyan or Fusion setups, I could see him making a comeback and climbing up this tier list. But I agree, he is down in the lower tier. I don't think he deserves a spot right up next to Kaioken. Dude, Kaioken is just a beast of its own. So I don't know. What do you think, Virgil?
I'm on that same page, honestly. I don't think Gogeta deserves the spot, and it doesn't have anything to do with him, like individually, like you guys said. It's his teams are just holding him back at the moment. I mean, we're going to go through the list. There's a lot of units that I disagree with the list a little bit here. So Fusions has taken a big step back, with droids releasing, they counter the ultras really nicely, especially, the Gogeta, right? He's just doing numbers on that team, specifically Fusions, but anything that Gogeta fits on isn't, top 3, top 4, top 5 teams, in my opinion.
And there might be certain situations where, like, if you run into a high star Ultra Gogeta, like, it can still be pretty nerve-wracking, just from how good he is by himself. But from when you're trying to kind of summarize the units in the meta and make a tier list like this, I kind of agree that Kaioken should be up there by himself, and then Gogeta's down in the lower tier. It does make sense to me.
I definitely don't want to undermine Gogeta because he's a monster, right? But I think that's where people have to understand the difference of, being at the top with the meta, right? With teams, and that this isn't a one unit game. This is like a whole team game. So
3v3.
So yeah, Gogeta just does not make the top couple unit cut, but individually he's disgusting. So
Kaioken, and you can kind of do this with Gogeta on some teams, but Kaioken, I see a lot of times, like, people don't even run him on pure God Key. They'll just throw him on, like, PO in the leader slot, or even, like, just, I don't know. I've seen him on all these different teams where people just toss him in the leader slot, and he still works amazingly. And I'm not saying you can't do that with Ultra Gogeta, but right now Kaioken is still in the boost system, so he's still receiving those extra buffs.
My fault.
And he's just so good by himself, so it makes sense. Kaioken should be number 1.
Yeah, because Zafir is also running that team that you mentioned. He's running Kaioken on pure right now. He's like, what, rank 2, rank 1? I'm not sure, but I think he was like 100 RP below the rank 1 guy, like an hour before PvP.
That's probably one of the better teams in the game.
Yeah,
like his specific setup with his stars and his equipment and everything.
And another thing too about Gogeta being on the leader side, right? I feel like Gogeta doesn't make that many teams better with him being in the leader slot. I feel like it's really just Fusions and Movies and Super Saiyans. I don't think he makes any other team better with him being in a leader slot, because, like, team synergy also plays a factor, right? There's all these pure equipments, all these uniques that give support, and all this other stuff. It's like, it doesn't really fit. But because Kaioken just is the best unit in the game, and he's boosted on top of that, he can just fit like anywhere, because he's just gonna do crazy stuff. But Kaioken's the best unit in the game. I firmly believe that. Some people say it's androids. I don't really see it, but
he synergizes with so many different teams too.
Yeah, because of all the green card generation that he can give to units, like the androids, and even on LOE, he can run this guy. He can just give out of green cards to units to just do crazy work.
Yeah, I agree. He definitely has the crown right now at number 1, and I do think 17 and 18 are very, very good, man. They're like insanely good, never-ending combos, really good damage. They have, I mean, they're different, but they do have a lot of stuff that Kaioken also has with like the never-ending combos. Even if you have a unit like Future Gohan, you swap them in with the cover change and destroy their cards, you still got to sit there for like a 5-6 card long combo sometimes. So it's like the never-ending combos, I think, kind of goes both ways with Kaioken in 17 and 18. But
I think it's very close. It's very close, like the placements between them. Like,
well, it's weird because so Kaioken is just a monster by himself, right? Like we've already said, you can throw him on the leader slot and he's gonna work. 17 and 18, you're most of the time running them with Purple Cell, and you know there probably is other setups, but most of the time when I see 17 and 18, it's alongside Purple Cell. And it's like that duo, these two units have synergy with each other. They're obviously red and purple, so cover each other's backs. So it's just, I don't know, it's the synergy between 17 and 18 and Cell, I think, kind of makes them just a huge threat. And in that perspective, I could see the argument of like maybe 17 and 18 is up there by Kaioken. But when you, like I said, you factor in individually and how much of a beast Kaioken is by himself, I think it makes sense, like the placement that we got right here. So
yeah, I agree with that.
Speaking of the androids, 7 to Z tier. So we got androids number 1 in Z tier. Then we got Cell, followed by AGF, Final Form Frieza, Gogeta. Ultra Gogeta and Final Form Frieza along with G4. I feel like the top 2 are pretty
standard.
Yeah. Like Cell and
set in stone.
Cell's plat really boosted him to like new heights, bro. Like it's actually wild how I think Cell is easily like top 3 in terms of like offensive damage output. Like once his gauge is filled and he has his main ability active, somebody's probably gonna die. So he's very good offensively, even though he's selfish, but offensively by himself he's cracked out, bro. Honestly, like he's just bullshit. And the androids, Taxitron, the green cards are insanely broken. One removes vanish, one reduces card draw speed. They both nullify cover. They steal Dragon Balls. They have healing. They nullify endurance. They're just insane, dude. Like they're just crazy, honestly. They're pretty wild. But what do you guys think
paired
of
up together? Yeah,
the Z tier here that we have here?
I agree with pretty much all of it. The droids, you know, the 17, 18, and Cell being up top, Future being arguably, you know, number 1, number 2 best teams in the game. I think the top 2 placements, the droids and Cell are good. I agree with it completely. The LOE, I think it's the best team. I still think LOE's up top, and it's just because of the rush manipulation. I know the droids and Cell have rush manipulation, but the LOE is able to, you know, not only stop the Dragon Ball gain, which the droids do, but they're also able to obtain Dragon Balls. So I just factor that in there. You know, more Rising Rush, you know, more wins. So I do think the LOE droids up top makes a pretty good Z tier. Ultra Gogeta being so powerful individually is what's keeping him up here. And I think the only thing I would take off a Z tier is the Gogeta 4.
Yep, I agree. Swap. If you scroll down a little bit, ZVG, you can basically just swap G4 with the green Vegeta right there. I think that'd be perfect placement. There could be arguments for putting Gogeta somewhere else, but I think that green Vegeta, man, he's just so damn good. I think he deserves a spot. It could be bottom of Z tier. I'd still be happy with that. So you could swap Vegeta and G4 easily.
And just speaking on like the comparison, because I know, you know, everyone's gonna have a different opinion on which team is better, LOE or Future, and I think they're both pretty close to like they're right on the same tier in my opinion. I know like Future can counter LOE really hard, but if you have a well built LOE team, it's not even the Rising Rush. Like with Future, you have to take time to ramp up, and you know, Future Gohan getting hit, and you know, dropping combos with the droids, and, you know, just constantly switching and swapping them out. There's a lot of work to be made for them to be doing the damage that they do mid to late game. When it's LOE, bro, I gotta be careful with any sidestep, cover change, swap green card into blues. They're just doing stupid damage like all times of the game. They jump into the match with ridiculous output. So I think it's really close, but I think this the Z tier is looking really solid. I would just take off the G4.
Yeah, I agree with G4. G4 is not. I know that they'll go call them ult merchant, which I find funny. But I think there is some truth to that. I feel like once his ult is popped, he's not really that much of a threat. But you can say the same for this guy. But this guy's ult is way more impactful because he locks in. You know, he locks in. He's tankier than G4. He does probably more damage. I don't know, like it's kind of hard.
He does.
Probably okay. Yeah,
I was about
more
to say he
damage.
definitely does more damage.
Yeah, so he just in the meta right now, he's just overall better. I'm pretty sure.
Bro,
yeah,
and you know how many rushes my green Vegeta tanks? Like I usually try to keep an HP bench, a couple HP equipments, whatever. But dude, I can't believe how many rushes where I'll just throw in that green Vegeta and he tanks it. And it can be like a type neutral rush, whatever. Like it always impresses me how tanky he is.
I think he's like the tankiest unit in the game.
Oh yeah, and like if you have the Zenkai buffers, if you're running like a pure green yellow God Key setup, that's just gonna make him tankier. But I've even seen situations where he's only getting his own Zenkai buff and he's still very tanky. So I think a lot of it has to do with like the damage cut and stuff that he has in his kit. But yeah, I think the green Vegeta could for sure be Z tier.
Should be switched into Z tier.
Yeah. Other than that, though, like everything I've seen so far in this list, I think I agree with everything. Even the Blue Revival Frieza, bro, because like when I think of Blue Revival Frieza, I think of like Clapku, but actually good. Like Clapku, but he can actually do damage and like have disruption and just be annoying, like just flat out annoying. And it's just it's crazy because like we've kind of already said, LoE has the Dragon Ball manipulation. So not only are they manipulating your Dragon Balls and stealing them, but when you do finally get a rush, you got to worry about the revival, or possibly if they run the endurance set, which I usually don't see. But if they are running the yellow full power Frieza for endurance, then you have that to worry about as well. So it can just be very tough to take down LoE. But I know I've heard ZVG say, this is kind of off topic, but I think Future, if you do have a pretty stacked Future team, they do kind of counter LoE, right?
Yeah. That's in my opinion, because I feel like as long like I'm not really scared of LoE like that anymore, just because I have the George plus Cell at red stars, and then if Cell kills Rival Frieza, it's pretty hard for you to lose if Cell kills Rival Frieza, because then you can match their rush manipulation by taking away 4 Dragon Ball just like that. So in that regard, it becomes a battle of attrition, and I feel like the Georges have way more damage output than anyone on LoE, so that's why. But I can see the argument for why LoE could be considered better, because if they do get their rush first and you can kill Rival Frieza, then you're pretty much in that bad spot.
Most of the time, they are getting that rush really early.
Yeah.
No, with the Blue Revival Frieza, not only that, he's healing the team, right? I think constantly he heals the team with swaps. I'm pretty sure he does that.
I think he does. I'm not an LoE expert by any means. I think he does.
What?
The Blue Revival Frieza.
What does he do?
Heals. He heals.
Yeah, he does. He is what, 5% I think on swap out, and he gives 20% blast damage inflicted. So yeah.
Is it blast damage?
Yeah.
It's general damage.
No, I think it's blast damage. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I mean, even that, it's really good.
Yeah.
And then the revival where is just better right now, given a lot of specifically the droids just nullify endurance for existing. So just having a unit that's able to actually have a second life.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
I'd rather Future Gohan's only being used. Me personally, like I've been running. If you scroll up, I've been using literally the top 3 units on this list.
Yeah.
Just Kaioken over in spot of Future Gohan, because I feel like he's fallen off. I know he's like a fantastic support, and he's just in a really weird spot because of how old he is. But I mean, that's of course we're going through the list. We haven't gotten to Future Gohan yet, but he's sitting at top of S tier. I think he still deserves that spot because of how core specifically. The Future team does rely a lot on equips. The pure equips really go crazy for Future specifically. So yeah, and then the general support, if Gohan's getting hit, the droids and Cell are gonna nuke pretty much.
Yeah.
And the thing with him is he just can't take any, he doesn't really do much damage, and he doesn't tank as well. So
yeah, that is true.
I will say he's probably one of the better aged LF units that we've ever gotten, probably. Right?
I think he's the best. Yeah.
I mean, if you consider all the LF units, like even maybe not the Zenkai ones, but just all the regular sparking LF units in general, he's probably like one of the better aged ones.
Yeah.
But as of right now in the meta, I definitely still see him. Like you said, he does still offer value for that future team. But I don't know. It all depends on the matchup, man. Because like we said, if it's LOE versus Future, Future might have the upper hand. But then in a lot of situations, you know, LOE has the upper hand against other setups. So it all depends on the setups. And if you're running Future, you know, you just have to hope that you don't fight another team that permanently nullifies endurance. And if you match somebody that you don't have to worry about that permanent endurance nullification, then you have then you have a pretty big upper hand. But then when you have to start worrying about getting your endurance nullified, that is when Future Gohan kind of starts becoming a liability, in my opinion.
Even droids or like Future v Future, you know, the androids just cut through Gohan easily.
And Trunks too. And Trunks, bro. Like Trunks is also in that same boat with Future Gohan. I feel like Trunks is in a worse spot because he doesn't. Because at least Future Gohan provides support and like disruption, but Trunks just selfish, you know. So. And he gets cooked.
He still hits really hard though.
Yeah, but it's kind of
when his gauge is filled, he hits really hard.
When his gauge is filled, but like, does he get the gauge filled up against the androids though? It's like that's the real question. Like, there's a lot of times where I just kill Trunks before his gauge is even popped. Like he just can't get the gauge off consistently with these androids running around.
Yeah, I see that. I definitely can see that. But yeah, I mean, that was like tying into sort of that revival Frieza thing. Like he has, you know, LOE has that revival value over the Future Gohan. I mean, Future Gohan staying core because of how good the droids are, but Future Gohan's value, in my opinion, has fallen like a lot. Still core on Future, you know, still core on Future. So that other Future option there, you know, every Future battle member for the pure strike attack is really good. Just to have him and the support disruption specifically is really good, but him as a unit, I don't know if I think I would keep him there. I think that's fine. Like these placements are all fine. The Vegeta to Z tier, and then maybe, yeah, this all looks good personally.
Yeah, I agree with most of this. I think even Blue Boys, I think we can all agree they've fallen off since I think it was the combination of just the crazy power creep that we've seen over the past 5 months, but also the fact that, you know, they were once in the boost system and now they're not in the boost system. And I think that does make a pretty big difference. Because it was basically right around the time they left the boost system, everybody kind of started seeing, you know, they're not really tanking as well as they used to. They're not really doing as much damage as they used to. Can they still be good? Absolutely. Especially if you got some Zenkai buffers on them. They can still pack a punch, but yeah, they've definitely fallen off from where they used to be. So I don't disagree with Blue Boys or anything else here. I still think Sword of Hope Trunks is decent, but that's also from my perspective where I don't have 17 and 18 to be countering them like that. So basically, like God Key versus Future is actually a pretty tough matchup. So like in my matches, Sword of Hope Trunks can still be really good. So I understand this placement, but I also understand like sometimes endurance just gets nullified. So yeah.
Yeah, and then we got Jiren, SV, and Gamma 1 in lowest tier. I feel like it's kind of weird because like judging from the kit, like you think he's a S tier unit, but like in game, like you never see this guy. Like you never see Gamma 1, you never see Gamma 2, and it's just like
someone on the banners.
Yeah, it's very hard to rate these units when you've never seen them before. But just we have to base it off the kit, you know, compared to other units in the same tier. So that's why Gamma 1's lowest.
Just that one game that you and me played, bro. That was the one time I
me too.
Very surprised of how good he was.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of damage.
He was doing crits, bro. Yeah, the crits were just going off, man.
You can tell that if he was put on the Androids banner, he'd easily be worthy of displacement. Like, because then people would have him like high stars.
I think he'll go up, honestly, depending on how good, you know, new Android units come out or whenever they come out for like
the movie, because he's movies too, so you know that he's gonna.
Yeah, movies. Whenever movies value goes up again.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this could be solid, you know, just considering like you said, you don't really see Gamma 1 at all. Or if you do, it's going to be like 1, 2 stars, 3 stars.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for S tier. I could definitely see the Jiren and Blue Boys dropping to tier 1. Come Annie, like.
Sure, yeah. Unless you know, Jiren gets a buff, or I don't know if the UI Goku Zenkai will change anything either, but
I think the only way Jiren value goes up is if USS gets a revival. I feel like he needs a revival on his team because right now his main issue is that the rush, if he gets rush, he's gonna die because of all the androids and LOE. However, if he has a revival on his team, they can take the rush, while Jiren can just, wait for that rush to be popped, then get all of his buffs, and then, you go from there. But for right now, he's just in a terrible spot because of the meta. He's just,
I agree.
yeah, it's just not. And then Blue Boys obviously carried by the 5 Zenkai buffs. They're not that great. They're mid, honestly. Like, I know people love GV and stuff, but like, it's time to wake up. It's time to realize that unless he's on mono purple, he's not gonna be doing anything like at all.
Mono purple and support buffs.
Yeah, but
the mono purple, yeah. I mean, they'll still cook on mono purple though.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we've said it before, bro. If a unit can't cook with 5 times Zenkai buff, like, no unit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna go over tier 1 a little bit, not that much, because tier 1 really don't impact the meta like that much at all. The game is very top heavy. So let's go down here the list. We have Whis, Final Fantasy Zenkai, Death Buff Goku, Beerus, Zim Zam, and then Gamma 2, Rabbit Gohan, Chilled, Frieza, Oob, then all these other obscure units that you don't really see that much. Vados is tier 1 just because of KAIOKEN. That's a true testament to how broken KAIOKEN is. If KAIOKEN can make Vados actually be viable again, that's actually insane.
the Vegeta Zenkai buff helped out a little bit.
Yeah, it was both. But yeah, for sure. Because individually, Vados, dude, she's still, like, whenever I play the green, yellow God Key team, she does negative damage, bro. Even if I have the setup where she's getting, like, 2 or 3 Zenkai buffs, like, she does no
You build
damage.
her with HP, don't you? Like,
yeah, I usually do. Well, I always have a HP bench and then, like, at least 2 HP equips, and that could possibly be why, but I'd say most of the time I'm kind of just relying on her card draw speed to like extend the combo, and then I swap out.
Yeah.
Like, most of the time, she's never really there for damage.
But what do you guys think of tier 1?
Hit nowadays, low key.
Yeah, she can be a little tanky nowadays for sure. I agree with that.
I don't think there's really
I
much.
think most of it I agree with. I mean, I'm trying to find something I don't agree with. The Whis I definitely do. Whis is really good. Whis up there. Beerus is pretty good. I think Beerus is underrated. Like, a lot of people slept on him a little bit just because he can't tank well, but if you have him at decent storage, like, his damage output's kind of ridiculous. His blue card damage, the fact that he nullifies revival. I don't really know how to feel about that Zenkai Frieza, personally.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that great.
It's kind of weird.
But the Otherworld Goku, I agree with. I mean, he's really good. I don't know right now, with the meta of just movies not being hot, I think he's like Horon movies, probably.
Yeah, he is, but movie just sucks. Like movies just ass.
Zim Zam's pretty good still.
Dude, actually,
yeah,
this might be. I feel like Zim Zam's core in future. Like, I'm not even memeing, because I feel like you need a green if you're ready to Gogeta, because Gogeta just destroys the feature setup without a green on it. Because the thing is, you have to swap with the androids, and if you make a wrong swap and Gogeta catches you, somebody's dead, because feature Gohan can't tank, and he has extra damage against PO units, so he's gonna do a lot of damage against that setup. But Zim Zam just absolutely tanks this man, like, tanks him easily. And then too, he's very good against the blue and yellow combination of, like, Ultra Gogeta and then Ultra Kaioken. Zim Zam being able to wall Gogeta, then you have the droids for Kaioken. It works out really well. I feel like he's really, really good in the current meta. But he's very selective when I bring him. Only against Gogeta, that's it. Only against Gogeta I bring him.
Well, I was gonna ask you, if you had the green Vegeta at high stars, would you be rocking him instead, or no?
No, because I have Purple 21 on the bench, so Vegeta wouldn't get the HP bench from her, and then
it for the Z abilities, right?
Yeah, and then he wouldn't buff the team either way, and I can't leader him because I have to leader future Gohan. So Zim Zam's really the only green option that you can run on that specific setup. You have to leader Vegeta on future for him to be on that core setup, because he has buff the team with the Z ability, which sucks.
It's just God Key and Vegeta Clan, right?
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, but Zim Zam's ability is pretty good. They have both defenses and more strike attack as well, so yeah, it's they're pretty good, bro. Like, they actually do their job, which is just to wall Gogeta perfectly.
Yeah, I think and as we get lower on the list, like down here, I don't think ordering really matters, especially as you get lower.
Yeah.
But like right here at the top of where we're at, I think everything's good, except I agree. You could probably move the Zenkai Yellow Frieza like down a little bit, maybe like below Zim Zam. But other than that, man, this all looks good to me. And anything below this, I don't think order really matters.
I think the reason he is so high is because how good LOE is.
Yeah, it's
And
just
that's the only
LOE.
sense. Yeah, but him individually, I'm not really too impressed. I do like what you said with Zim Zam, and that's pretty much the thing with them is that they are selective.
Yeah.
They don't really do much, and that's my problem with them.
Yeah.
You gotta use their utility while you can. Like that, what is it? The green card takes away Vanish,
Yeah.
but you only got that one time, and then what is it? The blue card takes away Dragon Balls
Yeah.
as well.
I will say though that one time taking away a Vanish, that can
Change the game, yeah.
Yeah, that can literally like offset the rotations and put the
Yeah.
game in your favor. Like it sounds dumb, but when you're actually
Yeah,
like,
it's
you guys know what I
pretty
mean.
much
Like
it. Yeah,
just
yeah.
that one Vanish can change the
'Cause-
entire game.
Because then too, I run Future Go on the droids and him, so like all three of them support. It's like a constant rotation of support, so the damage from them isn't bad. Like the support does help out a
How
lot.
much does he offer? They offer how much?
20% to strike attack, along with a 5% heal on
that's
swap out,
pretty good.
and then the droids support on their own attacks, and Future Go on supports when he gets hit. So like it's constant support, and it's just pretty good, bro. Honest, like it's pretty good. But yeah, I mean the order really doesn't matter too much down here. Nobody really sees
That
these
Trunks
units.
should probably go up.
Yeah.
Free to play Trunks,
Dude,
is
this
definitely
dude,
should be
this
at the
Trunks,
top
bro.
of tier 1
This
or
Trunks, bro.
low
Yeah,
S tier, honestly.
yeah. I'm definitely gonna tell them.
I don't know why is he this low?
I have no idea actually. I didn't really, because I never really used him before, like 2 days ago when I was using Vegeta family. But this dude is just
He's actually cracked.
busted, bro. Like, well, not busted, but you guys know what I mean, right? Like he's
For
Yeah,
a
he's
free to play
insane for
unit,
free to
he's
play, yeah.
he's phenomenal.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
for what he
pretty
is.
good.
Like everyone should have him 14.
His
you know?
main is very very good, bro. Cover null, the card reload, and he's just like crazy damage, man.
And that's
Pretty
an
good.
early main ability too. He can
Yeah.
pop that real quick.
But yeah,
I agree with that.
other than that, really, no, we have the EX Grunks. I feel like the issue with EXs in this game is that they're too hard to pull. It's like nobody has this
Yeah.
guy at
Yep.
any decent stars or anything to like really gauge him or anything like that.
Yeah,
I think they're
agree.
decent.
One
But,
day there'll be a day somebody gets him 14 and runs him on like pure hybrids with all the busted equipment.
Mine's 9
It'll
stars,
be nice.
and I have never used it, bro.
You have him 9?
Yeah, I do.
Damn.
I Z powered them from what was it, 5 stars I think to 9, yeah.
It's because he
Damn.
went ham on the droids banner.
Yeah, that too. Because I got them 7 on the Joyce banner, so I was like Z powering them up to 9. Because I had nobody else to give my EXZ power to.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I've never used them.
I mean, they're a good option. They're probably either best or second best EX unit in the game.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen Prof use them on his team, and some of the damage output that they can have is actually pretty surprising.
I feel like they're
But-
the most unique gauge unit because they have a constant rotation of green cards and blue cards. So I felt they're more fun than the other tag units because they
Yeah.
actually get cards on swap and all this other stuff. So
Bro, I'm not
They
gonna
seem
lie.
pretty
Tag
fun.
units in general are just fun.
It's
Like
fun,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. We were talking about Blue Boys. I was about to be like, I recognize that they've fallen off, but even when I use them, even if I'm not even winning,
They're
bro,
so fun.
I have fun playing with them, and I see the same thing. I'm sure people play with that use 17 and 18. They probably feel the same way. It's just like it's a different way to play, and I do agree. Sometimes these tag units can be tough to take down, especially with the fact that they go back and forth on their element factor. But overall, they are really, really fun to play with.
Yeah, I definitely see that as well. And I do think that they're going to expand on this as well. Maybe one day we'll have a tag unit that, fuses or something of the sort.
Yeah. But yeah, we've been kind of going off topic. But for the tier list, I agree with a lot of this. Like I said, I think the main thing we all agree on is, we could probably move G4 down and move the green Vegeta up into, very bottom of Z tier. But other than that, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think they did a good job on this one, honestly.
I agree. I mean, the tier 1 is subjective, so it's you can move them around a little bit, but it's not going to matter too
Yeah.
much. They're all still in this
Yeah.
big tier.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for the pre-anniversary tier list. Let us know what you guys think of the tiers down below in the comments. And this is EVG, joined by Virgil and Swift, and we'll catch you guys in the next video and 5-9 Gaming. Peace out, guys.
Don't forget to come
Peace.
back. We will have another one for anniversary.
Yes,
so
sir.
Don't forget to come back.
Yes,
But yeah,
sir.
Peace out, boys.
Yes, sir.